There's only been 6 other players in Lightning history that have worn the number 42.
To be honest, the reason I picked 42 is...
I was going to say, like, what's behind that?
There's a rapper named 42 Doug.
Okay.
And so I'm 42 and I'm Doug, so I think it's pretty funny that I'm 42 Doug.
Bolts Nation, welcome into another episode of the Bolts Block Party, powered by Highlight IPA, Wolfie and Kobe, and we finally got this guy, the tallest guy in the NHL on the Block Party. Curtis Douglas joins us. Curtis, first of all, I thought I was a big dude at 6'4". I thought Kobe was a big dude at 6'5", you say? I think
and a half.
6'5" and a half.
I'll take a half.
6'9".
I feel like you're bothered by my 6'5".
Well, it's just, I look at pictures of me next to you, and I feel like you're substantially taller than me, but I can't wait to take a picture next to this guy to see how small he makes you look. But man, welcome to Tampa. Officially, I know you've been welcomed by many, but for all of our Bolts Nation, we saw you on the blue carpet. Was that a cool experience for you too for opening night to be on the blue carpet like that?
It was, it was crazy. Yeah. It was fantastic. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny that I didn't really know where to go, so I was kind of just on my maps looking around trying to figure out where it was, and I got stuck on the crosswalk, like facing the blue carpet. Yeah. So I was standing there like an idiot for like 5 minutes before the crossing guards let me pass, and then I entered the blue carpet. But there was like a little limbo period where I looked like I didn't belong there.
That's odd. Yeah,
somebody let this guy in.
Who is this guy, man? But welcome to Tampa. We know it was a crazy trek to get here.
I wanted to ask about, before I forget, because you know, if I don't write it down, I forget. But
I love that you wrote it down.
We're getting you right after practice day here, a spirited practice. And Coach Dan Heinold had about 4 of you guys out there. Yeah. You guys at the end of practice were working on a little bit of technique, fighting technique. Can you talk about that? Like, are you helping the guys? Or are you kind of just doing this for yourself, conditioning, or what's kind of going on out there?
Yeah, kind of all of the above. I mean, like I have a number of fights, and my dad was a semi-pro boxer, so I have a little bit of experience with the fighting side, and it's mainly just like riffing off each other and figuring out little things and just always being ready. Like, even if you're not a guy that fights a ton, it's always better to be ready and not get pounded than
just have that confidence, right?
Yeah, and it helps a lot with that confidence. Like, you might be not as willing to go in and crush someone or have like a good hit because you're afraid you're going to get jumped or have to fight. So it's always, I think, good for everyone to know like what they're doing, and the conditioning side as well, and just technique and stuff. It was fun. It was cool.
Yeah. So was your dad, as a semi-professional, did you train boxing as a kid, or is that just kind of like he showed you what to do, throw hands a little bit, or would you guys go down in the basement after supper and he'd chuck you around? I remember hearing a story about Craig Berube. Yeah. You know, he would go down with his old junior coach, and they would fight in the basement after supper. But yeah, talk a little about that.
Yeah, it was always kind of in my arsenal, and my dad was always there and helping me out with that kind of part of everything, and not just with hockey, with kind of protecting people and being a bigger guy and standing up for a little guy in school and that stuff, and kind of bringing that into your character. And it's not being the person that just goes out and being an idiot and fights and stuff, but if push comes to shove, you're always ready and you're always able to take care of yourself. So it was kind of that kind of instilled in me young, and then I loved it, and we started doing it more and more, and then we just kind of it kind of migrated into hockey, and I needed to find ways to keep moving up in hockey, and fighting kind of opened a little bit of avenues for me. So he helped a ton with that, and then I got a boxing place back home that helped a ton as well.
Yeah, I can just imagine a pulverized like heavy bag in your garage. You know, when you're not hitting it, your dad is just going to town on it. You know.
Yeah, but you weren't always, you know, as big as you are, right? Like you kind of hit a growth spurt, what, at like 15 years old or so?
Like 12, 13, yeah.
Okay, so even earlier than that. So where did the love for hockey? I mean, obviously surrounded by your dad who's, you know, playing boxing, your uncles played in the NFL, like, right? Yeah. So football, boxing, where did the love for hockey then kind of come into play?
Yeah, funny enough, my mom was actually born in Australia, so that's another avenue that doesn't make sense for hockey. But my dad was from Montreal originally. Like, he's born in Toronto, but he lived most of his life in Montreal. So he was always around hockey, his whole family. So I kind of just put the skates on when I was 2, 3 and fell in love. And he didn't even really have to push me. I just loved it so much. We just stuck with it all the way. Basketball was never a real passion, even how many people tried to push me into it.
Well, right.
And what was your mom saying? Because
Yeah, right.
this must have been totally foreign to her. Like
Totally, like the first 10 years, she was just figuring out the game like me. So it's pretty funny. We were like both learning. She was a little older, obviously, but she was figuring out the game as well. And now she's an expert. She probably knows just as much as I do, if not more. So it's pretty funny.
That's pretty awesome, man. I mean, and again, it's interesting to see everybody's path and the family dynamic that, has the influence on it. And for you, again, to be such a tall individual, like it seems like hockey would be the least of all of the sports that you would gravitate towards. So as somebody, who has developed at such a massive size of an individual, do you find that there are benefits to being so tall to your game, and are there downfalls to being so tall to in your game? Because,
For sure.
Again, like it's such a rarity. You, Matt Rempe, I think Chara, 6'9". You are the tallest player in the NHL, tallest in Lightning history, I believe, because Schuster on record 6'8", according to what the paper says.
I was going to call BS on that.
But so like talk to us about, how that has changed your game because you are such a big individual.
For sure, yeah. I think I talked to somebody in, I think it was Detroit, about this a little bit. I grew like 8 inches in a summer once.
Was it painful? Like, do you remember?
Oh yeah,
do you remember your chin
I had,
split? Like,
I had all the Osgood slaughter and all the stupid knee and ankle problems, but I was so bad those couple of years, like figuring out my body, that like I had to figure out other ways. It's like I couldn't beat people to the puck, so I'd have to like figure out where to be before and like figure out other aspects of the game. I think it helped with like my hockey knowledge per se, like a ton.
Yeah.
And now that I'm finally like grown into my body and I can really like actually move now, I think it was a big benefit. But obviously, if you're tired and you're a big person, you look horrible. So I've figured that cardio is a huge aspect as well.
Did you find that in your game as well? Like,
I can kind of relate. I remember having like very severe growing pains and stuff like that. And it was, it's not fun. You're wondering what the heck's going on. You're like, I'm so young, but I feel like, sore and old. And like, it's just weird. And I remember I missed, a couple of months of my season one year, and it was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah.
It was, you're just trying to kind of find your way through it. But, the good thing is that you can't teach size, right? And once you are able to get that time and patience, and I'm sure it was a lot of patience and good coaching and people around you that really helped you kind of find out kind of what kind of player you're going to be, work on your skating and puck handling, because everything changes.
100%.
And like 8 inches in a summer, like that is incredible.
That is incredible. And, again, you really made an impact right off the rip with Bolts Nation, your first NHL shift, and literally you're dropping the gloves with Ottawa's Curtis McDermott, which, again, I don't think any of our fans were expecting that. But it also allowed us to see your size and the advantage that you have with your, we'll call it a wingspan, because it looked like he didn't even have a prayer. You were just connecting, and he dropped. It was like, this guy's wingspan, it just looks so much more massive than the other players. But your situation of getting to Tampa is a pretty interesting one. The fact that, you were claimed off of waivers from Utah. You played 261 games in the NHL. Obviously, we know we brought you in for that grit, that enforcer mentality that I feel like our fans, thought was missing, obviously, with the scrappiness of us and our rivalry with Florida. But you literally abandoned your car when you got the call from where, like, on your way to Arizona. I'm just curious what that situation was like for you. Why did you ditch the car, not just get to the destination? Like, explain to us that whole situation, what that was like to get the call that you were coming to Tampa.
Yeah, so I was driving from, I got sent down from Utah and I was put on waivers, and our American League team had a team building event the next day.
Okay.
And so there was a bus leaving early in the morning. So I was trying to get to I figured I'd either sit at the hotel and wait for the waivers to go, and I'd still have to drive there, or fly from there to wherever, but my car would still be there. So I was like, I might as well get on the road.
Okay.
And I drove towards Tucson, and I got like 5-6 hours in, and stopped at 12, kind of planned it that way so that if something did happen, I'd be good. So I stopped at a Starbucks, and I was sitting there, and then I got the call from the GM in Utah saying that I got picked up on waivers. And about 5 minutes later, I got a call from here saying, you got to get to Florida. So I drove 2 more hours to Vegas, left my car there, grabbed everything I could hold, hopped in an Uber to the airport and flew here.
What a crazy situation. Shouts to Ryan Bellick too for getting your car.
Yeah, a little assist from Vegas as well. Yeah.
Like thank you to the Vegas Golden Knights for allowing him to keep his car at your facility, which you finally got it to Tampa.
Yeah, I got here a couple days ago.
Congrats. Finally can drive around the city and get to practice on time.
Yeah.
But what a crazy situation.
So what about you get put on waivers, which I'm assuming is that the first year or second year you've had that
first year
waiver eligible, and did you have a feeling? I know obviously that must have been in your back of your mind a little bit to make that stop. Was that kind of what was kind of going on there?
I had a phone call with some people close to me, and they said like my people I was talking to teams and stuff, and they said it was like there was a chance, but I thought that was kind of them saying that because they liked me. So I kind of thought I was probably going to end up back in Tucson and make the drive. And then when I got the call, I was over the moon, got to make that call to my parents, which was so special, and I'll never forget that. And then, I got here and everyone's been fantastic, and all my teammates have been incredible in getting me acclimated, and everyone at the hotel space is up and down the organization getting me into here and comfortable. And it's been I don't really have words for it. It's been just so cool.
Well, we have a great organization of making you guys feel at home, even when you're, so far out of your norm. But let's go back because, you were quoted as saying, I thought I was going to focus more on schooling and not go pro right away. And now I'm sitting in the Tampa Bay Lightning locker room 3 years later. It's really special. Obviously, you committed to the University of New Brunswick in Canada following you getting drafted by the Dallas Stars, 104th overall back in the 2018 NHL draft. So obviously, like, your mindset was on school and that focus, and plan to play for the university while, finish or continuing your education. And then boom, a complete 180. So when you were going to go to school, like, what were you going to study? Like, what was the focus for you in that world?
Yeah.
And is that still a focus? Like, do you still want to eventually?
I do a little bit. I did a few classes in Toronto. I kind of took a little bit of a break to focus on hockey a little bit more. And I probably still could do a couple, but we'll see if I end up picking it back up again.
But what were you going to go for? Like,
I was going to do finance, either finance or something along those lines, maybe like some sort of business. I'm not really sure. I was just kind of taking a bunch of different classes and figuring out what I liked, but I was more so in the finance world.
Okay.
The rumor coming out of the locker room is that you're a pretty talented musician as well. Is that true?
I play a little guitar, but talented is a stretch.
Like, what's the style, if you had to describe your style of guitar playing? Like rock, country?
I like Green Day a lot.
Okay.
I like the
alternative kind of?
Yeah, kind of alternative rock kind of thing. Yeah.
Is that what you're bumping pregame, like, to get you in the
I'm
mood
more
for
of a
game?
rap guy in pregame, but I love alt rock as well. I'm more of an alt rock guy on the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't we have some other guys in the locker room that play some instruments? I feel like we do. Who else play? No, we had somebody else on the show that played guitar.
Well, Burger for sure.
Well, we
Some
know
of the trainers
that.
too.
I remember Jason Garrison wanted us to teach him how to DJ. That was a while ago. That's a dead serious. He wanted to learn how to DJ.
Anthony Sorelli would swear up and down that he's a good singer, and then Nick Paul's like really good on the triangle or something.
He's good. He's good. He's got the whatever is the music. He's like producing or writing music right now. He's been playing in the room. It's fantastic.
Paulie is?
Yeah, it's unreal. Actually, you got to ask him to play.
You got to get him on.
You know
It's
who
actually good.
Hey, you know who his cousin is?
It is Big Pun, Big Punisher. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
Big
that.
Pun is somehow he did a 23andMe or Ancestry.com, and somewhere down the lineage, he found out he's related to the late great rapper Big Punisher.
No way.
Yeah, so you can tease him about that.
That's
Bring some Big
fantastic.
Pun music into the locker room. So I would love for you to tell him about the story about his parents. When they were on the broadcast. I don't know if you've heard this, but I was dying laughing. So please let Curtis know when you and Patty were doing the broadcast.
Yeah, well, me and Pat Maroon, we had the pleasure of doing the home opener on Scripps Sports for your first game.
Yeah.
And Pat had the great idea to bring your parents on the broadcast between the periods, and they were lovely. They were really good people, and you could just see how proud they were of you, which was amazing. And I think Paul Kennedy asked the first question, and then your dad took over.
Oh yeah,
and
I heard about this.
Your dad was he was so passionate, and he had so much to say, and it was just like it was TV gold.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It was TV gold. The problem is between periods, we only have so much time.
Correct.
So we have our little earpieces on to kind of give us the heads up about, how much time we have. Your parents didn't have that in. And all of a sudden here, like, 30 seconds, we got to wrap this up. On the producer saying this, and your dad's he's in the story. He's going. And so it's all of a sudden, it's like, we got to wrap this up. We got to wrap this up. And he just starts repeating it. And I look at Patty Maroon, and Patty Maroon's, I'm not cutting him off. I'm like, I'm not cutting him off. There's no way. And all of a sudden we look at PK, and PK is like, oh no. Like, he's like, I'm sorry, we have to go to break. And your dad was like, it was the best. But the craziest thing was that your mom was there too. And she's like, I didn't even get to talk, And I was like, we got to bring him on for another segment sometime.
No doubt.
Just to let him get everything out.
The funniest part was after I got the recap, before they edited out and made all the great cuts and stuff. Like, the video came out awesome, and it looks like my dad spoke for like 25 seconds, and my mom came after before they did all the cuts, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna kill him!" She was pissed.
She wanted her time.
Yeah, she was like, "I didn't get to talk. This guy wouldn't shut his yap." I was like, "Dude,
I know, moms need their time too."
Yeah, no, but they were in awe. I mean, like, seeing you guys and you and Patty Maroon, and my dad's a huge Patty Maroon fan as well. So like, that's why he couldn't stop talking. He was so excited.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's a natural. He could be on TV.
His dad?
Yeah, he's got just that talkative voice. He's just like, he's got lots to say. And
he was a boxer. I mean, I'm assuming, did he do like professional fights? Or
he
not
did.
So much?
He won like a Golden Glove tournament, and then,
pretty big deal.
but then he kind of like let it go after a little bit after that. I think he was a little bit tired of getting punched in the face.
No, I get it. So what does he do now?
He's does medical sales in Toronto.
Okay.
And you had like a pretty big contingent of people that made the trip. So when did you find out you were going to play your first game? And then when did you make that call? And then everyone got there. You said there was like, it was kind of planes, trains, and automobiles with people like on this flight, that flight, but everyone ended up making it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it just shows how special, like, and how much those people mean to me. Like, they got the call. They were texting me all day. Hey, are you playing? Are you playing? Are you playing? I'm going, hey, when I know, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping it from you. And then I got the call, and I called them each individually, which was so cool. And hearing both my brothers, I put them on the same call, and it was, I'll never forget that, like, couple hours. And I think they were already packing bags before I got off the phone.
Yeah.
So cool.
They're going to get there somehow.
Yeah, 100%. They would have walked
man.
there. So it was pretty cool seeing this. The funniest part is I was doing my first warm up in the NHL, like playing soccer or whatever, and my parents were getting in the elevator, and I could see them. So like, I could see them getting into the elevator, and I think they saw me, and they were trying to like sneak out of the way, so they didn't bug me, and I ran over and gave them a hug. And got to give them both a hug before I like got onto the ice and did all the special stuff. So that was something that really like stuck to me as well. It was really cool.
Yeah, and you got your lap. You got to take your one lap.
I was just saying, don't fall.
I was like, what's going through his mind right now? Like, don't fall. Pretty awesome. And then obviously that's your first time, skating here on home ice at Benchmark International Arena. Your first time experiencing the atmosphere. What was that like for you? I mean, was it still like surreal, kind of like soaking it all in?
Took me probably 5 days to really like let it soak in that I just played an NHL game. I mean, like we talked about, it was a long road, and it really didn't look like it was going to happen for a while. Yeah. So I think it came out so like suddenly, like it was so sudden coming in and playing my first game that like I didn't really get a chance to sit down and really like be grateful and kind of take it all in. So a couple of days later it hit me, and thankfully my parents and everyone was still here. I got to sit down for lunch and stuff with them, and that was super, super cool, and I'll never forget it as well.
So cool, man.
What do the boys in the dressing room call you? Because I was trying to think of that. Yeah. I asked Julian Breezewell. I was like, what do the guys call you? And,
mostly Dougie, Doug. A couple of guys in Toronto called me Dougman. I like that one. That one's funny, I think.
I like that.
A couple of guys called me Buster, like Buster Douglas.
Okay, like the boxer.
Yeah.
Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
Mostly Doug, though. Dougie.
Dougie.
Teaching how to Dougie.
I like it. And I wanted to talk about your game. One of the things that I was kind of, when I was watching you play, I was like, man, this guy has got to be an absolute nightmare on the forecheck, with your size and, your skate, and you're so long and you're getting in there and you're all these kind of things. It's just like kind of like a defenseman's nightmare, this guy's coming,
right?
And his stick can cover the lane so much. But I kind of wanted you just to kind of talk to us about your game, and you scored 10 goals last year in Tucson, and just kind of like your evolution of your game so far.
Well, as you said, with getting going through your size and stuff and having all those coaches, I think I was really lucky to have in Tucson, Toronto, Belleville, everywhere I've played, I've had coaches that have been very, very hands-on and really helped me round out my game so that if I ever do get to this position, I know what to do in that sense. And the forecheck part is, like you said, I want to be able to be a player that maybe not in the first period, maybe even not in the second, but the third period or whatever, 50 games in, whatever, you go to get the puck as a defenseman and you see me coming and you go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go get it.
Well, you got to move it like a split second earlier because, you know, you're going to finish the check, right? And you know it's coming. So you're going to have to try to protect yourself or else you're going to end up like a, you know,
you're going to
fly on the windshield.
No
Right?
doubt. Was there more nervous energy for you coming into such an established locker room of veteran leaders, or was it more excitement, or was it maybe like a combination of both?
Bit of both. I mean, I texted my parents one of the first couple days and I was like, holy, like, these are the people I'm sitting beside. These are the people I just talked to. These are the people who just texted me. And they're like, hey, listen, you earned it. Yeah. Stop being a super fan. Go play your game.
And who did you know coming in? Did you know any of the boys coming in?
Geeks, right?
I played in Tucson a little bit with Geeks and training camps and stuff. And he's a great guy. And he was really, really good with me and introducing me to everyone and figuring out the drills and stuff and making sure that I was good. So I'm really grateful for that. He's been a fantastic guy there. And then I knew some mutual friends of Sorelli, I think, a little bit. And then I played with Pontus Holmberg in Toronto for a year as well. So we and him kind of figured it all out together as well, which was cool.
That's nice. Two new guys.
Make it a
coming
little
in.
bit
Yeah,
easier.
exactly.
It's not like I don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
You got a couple guys
that's
you
not
do
easy.
know.
But I know that the guys in the dressing room, the leaders, like, you know, you got the Hedmans, the Gourds. These guys
they're awesome guys.
McDonough,
Yeah,
for
Of
sure.
course, Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, they are all awesome in getting me integrated and making sure that I wasn't too nervous where it affected my game, which made it a lot easier to go out and just do what I can.
Does being so tall pose issues for you, like during travel and flights and hotels? I mean, is that
for sure?
It does.
Get this guy in an emergency row exit, right?
I mean, obviously in the NHL, I'm sure they accommodate you for that, but when you're in the minor, the juniors, like it's got to be a little bit of a struggle sometimes.
For sure, yeah. A couple flights the funniest part about being this tall on commercial flights is the person in front of you trying to back their seat up.
Yeah.
Right.
So they try and back it up, and then they hit my knees, and then they try and back it up, hit my knees, and then they take a look back.
Okay,
never mind.
Yeah. I always go for the exit row. I'm 6'4", so I can only imagine you two on flights, man. There's only been 6 other players. I'm sure you don't know the answer to this, but there's only been 6 other players in Lightning history that have worn the number 42.
Really?
Do you know any of them? No way, because Kobe didn't even
I
know.
didn't know.
One
I
of
had
them's
no
his
idea.
boy.
I don't think I would. To be honest, the reason I picked
Why'd you pick
42 is
I was gonna say, like, what's behind that?
there's a rapper named 42 Doug,
Okay,
and so I'm 42 and I'm Doug, so I think it's pretty funny that I'm 42 Doug.
we got to research that DJ Bolt and see what's going on with 42 Doug. What kind of music that
I
guy
gotta look
is.
that up now.
I want to look that up too. Where's he from? 42 Doug.
I have no idea.
Okay, we got to check that out. Jonathan Marchessault was the last player
I
back
should have
in
known that.
2015. Well, Kobe didn't even know that, and he played cards with him on all of his flights. Another name that I thought was interesting on this list, Dana Tyrell, 2011 to 14, and Sheldon Keefe, the coach. He also
I had him
wore-
in Toronto actually as well.
number 42. So you guys have that connection now, in case you guys didn't know that. You have any? I wanted to get into our hot takes, but I'm sure you have a couple.
I kind of stop me if I'm wrong, but you had 2 uncles that played in the NFL.
One played in the CFL, one was in the NFL.
Okay,
Even better.
Yeah, that's
Even
awesome. You got
better.
both of them covered.
Was he a Saskatchewan Rough Rider?
He was either a Rough Rider, and I think he might have been an Alouette. I can't remember. It was one of the two. He's either Saskatchewan Rough Rider or
but one of them was
Montreal Alouette.
second overall
he
draft
was
pick to the NFL.
The Packers, Tony Mandrich.
And what position did he play? And he was like you said he was a massive human being,
He
right?
was either a linebacker or a lineman. I think he was a linebacker. I can't remember. Oh,
lineman?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
sorry.
that's a big dude,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, he was massive. He was like 6'9", like 350 or something
So
crazy.
did he write a book as well?
Yeah, he did.
you-
Yeah. He wrote a book. I think it was, I don't want to speak about it because I can't think of what it is, but I think it's something to do with like the steroid use at the time and some other stuff. But I think it's really cool. I should read it. I mean, he's my uncle, but
Family, right?
yeah, I should probably read it.
That's amazing.
Did you have a chance to delve into that? Or
No, I didn't. I really wanted to ask you about it because it's just kind of like, it's not every day that you you have an uncle, and he was 350
something like that. He was like, I met him at a family gathering at some point, like a couple years ago, and he gave me a handshake, and his hand legit wrapped all the way around mine. Like, he's huge.
And this is your dad's brother? This is not your
it's
mom's
my
side?
mom's cousin.
Okay, so it's on that side of the family. Interesting, especially coming from Australia.
Yeah, the Croatian side of my mom's family is really big. Like, they're all tall.
Interesting. Yeah. Croatia, that's definitely one of the places it's
So
on
if you hey, let's say like you went on the pizza and burger diet, you know, could you ever get to 350?
I got to like 260 once, and it was, I couldn't even move. It was not a good look. So I'd probably not. I could, but I don't want
Hockey's
to.
so much different like that.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to be able to move. Like,
Well, it's part of the sport. It's nonstop. Unlike football, which I tell people this all the time, hockey compares to no other sport because it's consistently moving. You always have to move.
yeah,
In football,
it's 7 seconds. You know, you can reset, catch your breath.
Right.
You know, like if you're dead after 7 seconds in the hockey rink, like
in front
you're
trouble,
dead.
right? Well, in football, I mean, they're literally doing a play. You're standing around. There's timeouts. There's injuries. Like, there's a lot of standing around. Baseball, standing around. Basketball is moving, but it's not to the physicality of the game of hockey. It just doesn't compare.
Big Blue Jay. I know you're from Ontario.
Big Blue Jay fan. Huge game last night.
Yeah, okay.
Huge.
I was gonna say he's pulling from her. I'm surprised he wasn't wearing their hat today.
No,
All
I
right,
couldn't.
so Curtis, we do a segment here called Highlight Hot Takes. These are just questions we're throwing out there to all the guests this season, and they're just for fun, just trying to pick your brain, kind of see where you're at. So we're gonna start one off here today with what is the most ridiculous superstition that you've seen a teammate do?
Any teammate or
Any
any teammate
that you've dealt with over the years, man. Something like, what is he doing?
I had a couple guys. There's a couple different guys that did it where, like, if you lay your stick down somewhere and someone walks over top of it, they gotta walk back over the other way. So, like, if you have your stick down and someone walks by, like, not paying attention, they like, hey, and like grab them. They're like, you're going back over it. And so, like, they had some big, like, people getting really mad at each other because they didn't want to go walk back over and stuff. I think that's one of the crazier ones. I haven't really seen many too bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
that's it. So you and the boys, you guys got a night off. You guys head to a karaoke bar. What is Curtis Douglas singing at the karaoke bar?
Perfect by Simple Plan every day of the week.
You knew right over like you've done that a few times.
I don't mess
He'll
around
be
with
tuning that up
karaoke.
on the car on the way home, just making sure I got to dial myself in a little bit.
All right. You're picking one NHL city to go for a cheat day food binge. Where might you be going, and what are you dining on? Seems like you like to eat, man.
I love to eat. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I hate it. He doesn't like to eat,
Maybe
Craig. Come on.
Big boys like to eat, bro.
Yeah, man.
I loved Dallas's food.
Well, what were you talking with Kobe about when we started? We were sitting down here before the show started, and you said the food was absolutely amazing. Like you were.
Oh yeah, in Tucson the food is fantastic.
The Mexican food.
Yeah, I love Mexican food.
Tex-Mex is like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I'm thinking. Yeah, if I could go to Tucson to eat, I would. Yeah.
Okay. It's a spot, man.
It's like a burrito the size of your thigh.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
huge. Yeah. It's
All
the
right.
best.
And our final hot take here today. What is the weirdest road trip snack you may have seen a teammate pack or eat, and did they actually eat it? Like, did they pack something up and like into?
I've seen a lot of deviled eggs. What's the
eggs?
hard-boiled eggs.
Just
Sorry.
like in a plastic
Yeah,
bag?
it's like a plastic bag, and I looked over at one of my teammates. I was like, "What is that?" And it instantly smelled like dumpster fire. So
it's like the
gross.
dude that opens the can of salmon on the plane. Like, oh, this is totally normal. You know?
Yeah.
Or puts it in the microwave at the office break
Oh my
room. It's
God.
the worst. All right. Well, listen, we know you're, fresh off of practice, so we know you got to get in the showers and get to
So
what you're
excited to
doing.
see you play and
Yeah,
grow.
man,
And
it's,
it's been awesome to get to know you.
We're really excited to see what you're bringing to the table this season. I know, like I said, our fans got a taste right off the rip in your first game, and we're really looking forward to seeing the grit that you're bringing to the squad, and we look forward to great things from you, man. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was super fun.
Thank you so much again to our friends at High Life for powering another episode of the Bolts Block Party, and we will see you guys next week on another episode. Thanks for tuning in.